Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The legend himself, Barry Sanders, here in attendance, in for the coin toss, as the Lions are honoring the 1991 team that made it to the NFC Championship game. Everyone loves seeing Barry Sanders, myself included. The coaches, Jim Caldwell for the Lions, Jeff Fisher for the Rams. This game certainly matters for both teams. Let's check in with a third member of our team, Peter Schrager.
Hey, Justin. Theo Riddick's not going to play today. Justin Forsett was signed this week. He's going to get a lot of the action. Also, Ziggy Ansah returns to the lineup for the Lions. Hasn't played since week 2. As for the Los Angeles Rams, there's a lot of concern. They wouldn't have their defensive line. Well, they do have William Hayes. They do have Michael Brockers. But Robert Quinn, a game-time decision, will not be going. Trumaine Johnson, like Chris said, is not playing at cornerback.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. The Rams won the toss. They have deferred, so Detroit will receive. Greg Zuerlein will kick off. Andre Roberts is back deep, and this will be a touchback. And we will see Matthew Stafford coming out. Last week against the Eagles. Another game. 3 more touchdown passes, 26 of his career, which is a team record. And he's just piling up those team records at the quarterback position. And he and offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter really work well together. Zach Zenner starting at tailback. In motion, Golden State, the handoff is to Zenner up the middle. A good run to start off for Zenner as he picks up 15 on first down.
Well, last week they used Golden Tate as a running back, number 15, coming in motion. Then when you can get a hole opened up like this and a young rookie, Graham Glasgow out of Michigan, pulling and kicking out, that sets up Zach Zenner for a nice game. But it's all about using Golden Tate as an illusion. And they'll come back to Golden Tate on a jet sweep later in this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 40. And the first pass of the game was tipped. The pass intended for Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones has been a key acquisition for this Lions offense under Jim Bob Cooter. Leads the NFL in reception yards. Entering this game at 519 yards. He and Matthew Stafford have clicked early on this year.
They clicked in rhythm too, Justin. That's an important part. And that's where the offense clicked last week more than anything. Jim Bob and Matthew were on the same page.
On 2nd down and 10, the handoff to Zenner. Zenner picks up a couple yards against this defense for the LA Rams. Michael Brockers with a tackle. You see E.J. Gaines and Troy Hill highlighted for Greg Williams. That's because they're without Trumaine Johnson. Those 2 corners have to step up against this aerial attack behind Matthew Stafford and the Lions. They'll be tested early and often. On 3rd and 8, there is Stafford. He steps up. Stafford trying to run for the first down. Gets taken down from behind by Alec Ogletree. Picks up 7 just shy.
And he's going to be a little bit short of the first down, which brings up a decision early for Jim Caldwell. And he's been aggressive in recent weeks. Watch the pass rush on Stafford. They're playing a little bit of a game up front. Here comes Aaron Donald, 99. He sees the gap and takes off, something he's done better this season. And watch now, Jim Caldwell 2 for 2 on 4th downs against Philadelphia. Looks like he's going to go for it here.
And they put the call in Matthew Stafford's hands. If he has a gap in the A gaps, he's going to sneak it. If not, he'll check at the line of scrimmage and give the Zenner off tackle.
It is to Zenner, and Zenner gets that push, and he got the first down.
Well, that's what they did, and if it worked last week, chances are it's going to work again. And Zach Zenner is a strong inside runner. See, these A gaps are taken. That means he's checking off tackle by getting a pulling guard out front. and leading Zach Zenner to get north and south. Not a lot of cuts in that move, Charles.
No, there weren't. They went with a heavy package, extra offensive linemen in, but what they did really well was they chopped down Aaron Donald up front. And you got Aaron Donald out of the way, you've got a chance to make some headway against the Rams.
Empty backfield here on 1st and 10. 4 wide receivers in here for the Lions. Stafford over the middle, low throw, caught by Anquan Bolden. Another offseason acquisition, picks up 8, sets up 2nd down and 2.
Remember last week, Chris and Justin, the Lions started so fast. We knew they had to have a fast start. They're kind of a little bit desperate last week at 1-3. I really feel like Jim Bob Cooter in the last 2 weeks has really focused in on the opening drive. You know, those opening plays that you script and put down. Looks like he's got a nice little plan going and got another fast start going for Detroit.
He gets a rhythm with his play calling. It's something that he felt like he didn't have early on in the season, and he's developed that rapport with Matthew Stafford, so they're kind of back reading each other's minds.
Justin Forsett is in. They fake to him, throw to Tate. Tate's got some room. Golden Tate is taken down inside the 10, down at the 7. Tackled by Maurice Alexander.
Riley Reef, the veteran, getting out in space and getting a KO knockdown. An offensive line live for that. Then you get the helmet knocked off. But Golden Tate getting involved early. They want to get him in the ball in space. And you get effort like that from an offensive lineman, that's money and that's wins right there.
And you also got effort from a wide receiver in Marvin Jones out on the perimeter as well. And how about Stafford with that sidearm bullet?
A 34-yard pickup to Tate. It was Reed who got the block on Troy Hill. Stafford to the end zone. Touchdown, Marvin Jones.
And this is why we talked about this in the open. You got a young guy up against a veteran and an improving player in Marvin Jones. The height advantage, gets away with a little push off.
A little?
Matthew Stafford, a little, sees Troy Hill's back turn. He just throws the back shoulder, trusting his guy's going to go up, and where he can only make the play, that's where the ball was placed.
And I questioned it twice, being facetious. No way was I looking for a flag on that one. That was a nice play by the receiver. That small little push, that deft move that you make as a veteran receiver to gain a little extra space.
Matt Prater's extra point is good. The 4th touchdown of the year for Marvin Jones. They went for it on 4th down. They converted, and they turn it into a touchdown. 7-0 Lions.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
The offense certainly happy. Marvin Jones capped it off with that 7-yard touchdown catch. 8 plays, 75 yards, that big 4th down conversion right at midfield. And now it's Sam Martin kicking off. With Benny Cunningham back deep in the end zone. And he will take a knee. And so here comes Case Keenum as the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. 6-4 as a starting QB with the Rams. He has won 3 of his last 4 starts, and he'll say it. He said, you know what, I think we're fighters. It may not be the prettiest, but we seem to make more plays than we don't. And that's why they're 3-2 on the season.
And that's why they have to be upset about last week with Buffalo. Had opportunities to make some of those plays, didn't get done. Case Keenum threw a pick 6 and a late interception to help prevent them from winning. But all in all, he is a fighter, and he does give them a chance to win with some of the plays he can make when he can extend them.
On 1st down, the handoff to Gurley, and Todd Gurley with a good run to open up the game for the Rams. He gets 14 yards, and that's a good sign for L.A.
Watch the guys up front, because they're under a lot of pressure, because Todd Gurley's not running ball with. There's Jamon Brown. Watch here, 68. Look at that. Able to wall off an area that allows Gurley access to the secondary. And he was running there, Chris, like, well, I haven't seen this kind of space in a while.
Olodi Nada out for the Lions, and he's the big reason why those linebackers have success. A great run stopper.
The pass is to Tavon Austin, and Austin gets wrapped up in the backfield. He's going to be taken down for a loss of 3 by Quandre Diggs. A look at the offense under coordinator Rob Boras. And the guy we highlight is Tavon Austin because he's a threat wherever he is. Going to line up all over the field, outside in the slot, in the backfield. A guy who might try to help out Gurley in that backfield.
And I want to come back to a point Chris made. With Haloti Ngata not in at defensive tackle for Detroit, the offensive line of Los Angeles needs to accept that challenge and create some space for Todd Gurley starting in the middle of the line.
Austin in motion on 2nd and 13. Keenum gets it out to Tavon Austin. He's got space, and he's so dangerous. Picks up the first down, gets 15 yards. Glover Quinn finally brings him down.
When you play man, you lock in. When you play zone, you have to see the field. Watch Darius Slay. He's not locked in right here. They're in zone coverage. He's doing his own thing, going in and following the man, vacating the flat for Tavon Austin. Excellent read right there by Keenum. That's the rule, though, right, Charles? You're DB. You play man, you lock in. Zone, you expand your vision.
He's playing zone and running with him inside as a man coverage. And as you noted, opened up the flat. And Austin's too quick for anyone to give him that kind of space.
The handoff to Gurley. A pickup of 5 for Gurley. Tahir Whitehead with the tackle. The defense for Terrell Austin. The big news for this defense is Ziggy Ansah is back after missing the last 3 weeks. This guy is a game changer.
Great effort player. The other big news right now early on, and I know it's really early, but I like to see the tone. The big white pants are knocking the gray pants off the line of scrimmage. Gurley's not getting touched till he's 2 yards past that line of scrimmage. He's not used to that.
No, he's not, because roughly about half his carries this year, he's been met in the backfield before he even gets to the line of scrimmage.
Play clock down to 1. Hand off to Gurley again. Look at him again. 6 yards, gets the first down. Tavon Wilson with the tackle.
And watch the first time he gets touched. First of all, this is a good job by Brown pulling around. Excellent blocking. Everybody does their job. Hat on a hat, and he's not touched. Now, that was 4 yards down the line of scrimmage, and that's something that the Rams have not seen. And the other thing Todd's doing a little bit more that he hasn't done in the beginning of the year, see how he's falling forward? He's falling forward and not falling sideways, and he's starting to try to run through people again, which he did well last year.
Had a great game against these Lions last year. 16 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keenum has it batted in the air, and it's incomplete. Todd Gurley, this year, you talk about him, he's been hit in the backfield, been taken down for losses. This is a guy, yards after contact this season versus last season. And also, you think about this year, yards per carry, 2.7. That's last in the NFL.
They averaged 4.8 last year, but to Chris's point early, they're creating space. They're carving yardage for him before he ever gets touched. And the great backs make more yardage after what they give him. The offensive line will give you a certain amount. What are you going to take after that?
On 2nd and 10, Keenum over the middle. Completes the pass to Brian Quick. And Quick gets 9. Tackled by Quandre Diggs. 3rd and 1 coming up.
You know, it's been good, I think, early for Los Angeles. A good number of guys have touched the ball early. This feels almost like an early basketball game, right? You go get everybody touching the ball, make sure they all get involved in the game. So far, Austin's touched it, Gurley's touched it, Quick has gathered one in there. Keep moving it around, spreading it around, and keep coming back to Gurley.
The handoff to Gurley on 3rd and 1. And it looks like Gurley got enough for that first down. Kyle Van Noy gets credit for the tackle.
Just let me go back to Charles' point, because I do think it translates as we move ahead in this football game. So what that does is it puts a defensive coordinator, okay, they're getting it to Gurley, Austin, Quick. Britt's going to be involved here soon. That makes you have to defend the whole field. So then you alter your game plan. If you want to take a certain guy out, that tells me that Case Keenum has seen the whole field and using the whole field.
Benny Cunningham is now in at tailback. On first down, the pass is complete to Kenny Britt, as you just mentioned.
It's
so it's
great.
all these guys getting involved on this first possession.
Well, I was reading a crazy stat this week. I think Tavon Austin and Gurley, 71% of their total offensive
touches.
plays. So it only makes sense. And as this team grows, they need to grow. You see 88 right there, Kendricks? Now, he's a weapon, too. I'm telling you, that's a guy to keep your eye on as this game moves ahead.
It's a guy they need to get the football to and create plays for. He can hurt teams down the middle.
Play action. Keenum rolling out to his right. Throws back, completes to Britt, spins, Britt reaches for the end zone, touchdown! What an answer by the Rams!
Guys, I thought Kenny Britt did a really nice job of understanding what he was doing in terms of finding open space, because Case Keenum's going to vacate the pocket. See right there? Now he just moves to an open spot, and notice how he presented himself. See, he could see that 1-8 clearly. I'm wide open, and Keenum able to spot him back inside, and then he does a nice job barreling his way into the end zone through two different tackles.
Well, so the rule for a receiver, if it's man coverage, you continue the route across the field. If it's zone, as Charles said, you find that open area, vacate the spot, and make yourself big so the quarterback can see you, just like Britt did.
Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. A nice start to this ball game. Kenny Britt with his first touchdown of the year. In the first quarter, we're tied at 7.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
Back here in Detroit, the Rams, they went 75 yards, just under 5.5 minutes, but the 5th drive of 10 more plays this season. And it resulted in a Kenny Britt 20-yard touchdown catch. And now Andre Roberts is back to receive the kick from Greg Zuerlein, all tied up at 7 here in the first quarter. Roberts from the 1. And Roberts, a nice return, gets out to the 28-yard line. Well, here in Detroit, they're honoring the 1991 NFC Central champions and our partner up here in the booth, Chris Spielman. Oh, look at the blood.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Sprint. Switch and save today. Learn more at sprint.com/network. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Pepsi. Every football moment deserves a celebration. Break out the Pepsi.
Back here in Detroit, 7-7 first quarter. Justin Forsett in at tailback. And we've got our first flag, going to be a false start.
It's Corey Robertson, number 70, lining up at tight end.
Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Time now for a game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Justin. Carolina at New Orleans. Battle of the 1-4 teams. Opening drive. Saints taking some chances on 4th and 1. Kobe Fleener's first career rushing attempt was successful. Saints up early, 7-0. Justin?
All right, thank you very much. Now it's 1st and 15 here for Detroit. Stafford slings it out to Bolden. And Bolden gets shoved out by LaMarcus Joyner, picks up 8.
So Aaron Donald right here has to take on double teams. Now what they're going to do is slide protection. When the back goes this way, all the linemen go this way. These two guys will take Aaron Donald. Watch how it works. This is what he has to put up with week in and week out. You see Swanson, the center, come over there? He's saying, I got your help, fella. Don't worry about it. And that's something that Aaron Donald has to battle every single week because he's such a threat as a pass rusher. That's slide protection. Away from the back, everybody moves to Aaron Donald.
So that means his teammates have to come through for him, right? They should have one-on-ones. They've got to win them for him.
The toss to Forsett, tries to cut it back. And Forsett gets wrapped up by Hill and Alec Ogletree, a loss of 1.
That was well played, wasn't it? I mean, you have to get to the edge, right? When you're trying to get wide, they always talk about setting the edge. Who's blocking on the outside defensive end or outside linebacker? And sometimes you get that good corner support as well. Force it back inside. That's well played by the Rams defense.
It helped too, and one of the reasons why Alec Ogletree leads his team in tackles because that defensive line is so good. They keep him clean. He's running free.
Came into this game with 57 tackles on the season, 3rd and 9, and more movement
False
up
start.
front.
Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Second false start of this series for Detroit.
But you know offensive linemen like to stay together, right? So Taylor Decker didn't want Corey Robinson to feel all alone.
Yeah.
You know, you get one, I get one.
Plus 3rd and 9, they get a low answer because they know that speed rush is coming. And I better get out of my stance or I'm going to be on this dude's highlight film.
If we look at the penalties here, to look come into the game, Los Angeles 42, Detroit 41 coming into today. Detroit last week, uncharacteristic, only 2 penalties for the game against Philadelphia, which helped them in their win.
Now 3rd and 14 for Stafford. Taking the shot down the field, and that's just overthrown, incomplete. Was looking for Marvin Jones.
And did you see Dominique Easley?
And there is a flag on the field.
Watch 91. A little twist to the top of your screen. And there's the hit on Stafford at the end of the play. I don't know what the flag is for. We'll see.
Holding. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
That's a big penalty against Ethan Westbrooks.
Well, Charles just talked about a twist, and believe me, defensive linemen do hold. Westbrooks is not designed to get the sack. He's designed to hold Riley Reef so he can't get out and pick up easily on the twist game. Rarely is that called because they do it every time they run a stunt.
Could have been a punt. Instead, it's a 1st down. It's Forsett up the middle. A 9-yard pickup for Justin Forsett. Tonight, the MLB postseason continues with Game 2 of the NLCS as the LA Dodgers take on the Chicago Cubs from historic Wrigley Field, only on FS1. The Cubs won a thriller in Game 1. Clayton Kershaw is going as the Game 2 starter. The childhood best friends of the Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford. I think that is so cool to see those 2 guys as kids and now those 2 guys as stars in their respective sports.
Yeah, how about Kershaw with that relief appearance to help the Dodgers get there? And Stafford said he didn't stay up and see the whole thing, saw the highlights, broke off a text to him the next day.
The pass is incomplete for Golden Tate. Didn't look like Tate had the hands up.
Did that hit him in the hip?
If it touches your hands as a receiver, you got to get it. And that's thing I think Golden broke out of his slump a little bit last week. But to me, he's still not in it totally because he doesn't drop those passes. When you catch 98, 90 passes in consecutive years, you don't drop those, especially ones that are chain movers. That was a chain mover.
And the Lions have to help themselves by not dropping passes and trying to keep drives alive.
3rd and 1, Zenner in at tailback. The handoff to Zenner, and Zenner gets wrapped up in the backfield. He's going to lose a few yards.
Josh Forrest coming off the edge, the rookie linebacker. When he gets his opportunity, they play so much nickel, but you're going to see Josh Forrest right here on a little bit of a slant move right now. And you have to account for him. And what you have to do is block inside out, not outside in. It's just like take away the most dangerous guy, which is the closest guy to the ball. They did not do that. That was a mental error on the Lions offensive line.
Now Sam Martin on to punt. A very, very good punter with Tavon Austin back deep. A dangerous return man. Waits for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 16-yard line. A 48-yard punt. Todd Gurley off to a good start in this one. The Rams offense back on the field when we come back. 7-7 here with 1:52 to go in the first quarter. The Rams take over at their own 16. Todd Gurley had 29 yards on 4 carries on the opening drive for the Rams. Play action on 1st down. Keenum lofts one to Gurley, has some space, and Gurley gets run out by Tahir Whitehead.
And this is what they have to continue to do. Watch him. He's going to fake a block and then get out. And that's what they have to do all the time with Todd Gurley. Make sure, because they're going to be focused on him anyway. So they fake it. He looks as no one comes on the block, so he gets to get out into the flat, and Keenum finds it. He has excellent hands. Was a good receiver at Georgia. He continues to be a good receiver in the NFL. The more space for Todd Gurley, the bigger plays that will result as the game goes on.
5 touches, 4 first downs for Gurley as he gets the Handoff here, picks up 2. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Pittsburgh at Miami, and Darius Hayward-Bay on the end around, showing that speed, takes it 60 yards for the touchdown. The Steelers, being the Steelers, added the 2-point conversion, and they lead it 8-3 in the first quarter. Justin, Charles, Chris, and Peter.
I'm loving what Pittsburgh's doing with that 2-point conversion deal. I think we're going to get about 3 years worth of samples, and Pittsburgh may be at the forefront of changing what we do on the PAT.
Well, it helps if you have offensive weapons all over the field and the quarterback named Roethlisberger.
You got them. Go. If you got them, use them.
Keenum completes the pass to Quick, makes a move, and Quick has another first down, gets 16. Andre Diggs with the tackle.
Well, a problem for the Lions, except last week they were good, but this leading up to last week, and now that missed tackles. Yep. Missed tackles in the secondary. So all of a sudden you have an 8-yard gain that turns into a 16 or whatever yard gain it was because of missed tackles in the back end. That's something they got to show up.
And Tavon Wilson, usually a good tackler, was a step and a half away, didn't close enough ground, and Quick shook him.
Tavon Austin in the backfield. Do they get the play off? They do not before the quarter ends.
Of the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter with a score 7-7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word for your local Fox station. Haloti Ngata, the 5-time Pro Bowler, inactive for this Lions team. And Chris, that creates a big hole in the middle for this defensive line.
Yeah, because he's a space eater. And remember that 1 techniques or 3 techniques defensive tackles. Their performance isn't always judged on how many tackles they make. A lot of times it's judged on how many tackles the linebacker makes, especially from the middle, because he eats up blocks. And, you know, being a linebacker, I was just talking to my good buddy Jerry Ball. The bigger the rear in front of me, the happier I was. And Haloti's a big rear end.
Keep you clean,
Yeah.
to run to the football. And
Tough to move.
And Detroit has all backups in on the defensive line right now. They've substituted out.
Empty backfield here on 1st and 10 for Case Keenum. Keenum gets hit as he throws, intended for Tavon Austin.
You know what's interesting about what they have to do to get the ball to Tavon Austin? Because of his size, they have to do a lot of different things. Because he's fast enough to run the deep routes. But you would say, okay, let's get him out there and go deep, right? But as you guys know, a shorter receiver running deep downfield is a harder target for a quarterback to hit. So the biggest plays Austin's going to give you are on short throws or throws closer to the line where he'll juke someone and turn it into a big play as opposed to just throwing it deep downfield.
Confusion defensively for Detroit. The pass to Cunningham out of the backfield. And Cunningham gets chased down from behind by Kyle Van Noy, who makes a big tackle just to take him down. A 9-yard pickup. That could have been a much bigger one if not for Van Noy.
Here's the perfect example of the opening we talked about. The NFL is a game of what? Matchups. Right? Kyle Van Noy isn't normally the nickel linebacker. He's playing in there for DeAndre Levy, who's been out. So you look, Benny Cunningham is a very good route runner. All Case Keenum does says, I have that matchup one-on-one. I will take it all day. Very similar to do what the Lions do with Theo Riddick when Theo Riddick is healthy.
Gurley in on 3rd and 1. Keenum, he's going to try it himself, and he will dive forward and get it. Picks up 2. It's Van Noy again there.
Like the design of that play, because what they show you is heavy set, right? They're showing you a lot of power, right? And you got the tight end up here. You got another blocker here, even though he's not a big guy in Tavon Austin. Fake it to Gurley, so they're either going to get it to him in the flat, and when he was accosted right there by Tavon Wilson, how about Keenum with the savvy to just tuck it, know where the first down line is, and dive and get it.
Definitely a run-pass option play. RPOs, big in college, getting bigger in the NFL.
Sounds cool to say, too, doesn't it? RPOs.
Hand off to Gurley. And Todd Gurley up to the 35, gets 6.
You know, top of the game, we talked about how could they create opportunities for Todd Gurley. Well, I think his teammates have stepped up today to help him. It's not just the offensive line carving space in their blocking. It's how they've moved the ball around, and Chris talked about it earlier. Now as a defense, where do you go? Who do you load up on? Where's the guy that we have to cover? And now there are more opportunities for Gurley to find access to the secondary.
Rob Boris is calling maybe his best game of the year, the offensive coordinator for the Rams. He's in his rhythm.
Rob Boras, his first game as a coordinator was last year against these Lions. On 2nd and 4, Keenum over the middle. Another complete pass, this time to Bradley Marquez. Finds yet another receiver, picks up 13.
Well, in this time of baseball going on, right? The championship series, here's Marquez working inside. He came out of the Texas Tech system. So he was a guy who knew how to get downfield, find open spots. See him asking for the ball? Well, baseball, right? Bradley Marquez, former draft pick of the New York Mets. Hit, what, 264 1 year in single-A ball before turning his full attention to the NFL.
The opposite, Tim Tebow?
The opposite, without a doubt.
It's Tavon Austin. Austin makes a move, makes one man miss, and he takes it down to the 14, gets 8. Kyrie Thornton with the tackle. Peter, what more can you tell us about Tavon Austin watching him down on the field?
Yeah, well, look, they're trying to get him involved out of the backfield, guys. You saw last week the Detroit Lions had Golden Tate playing a little running back. They're doing that with Tavon Austin now. They just want to get him the ball. So, yeah, he's going to make an impact in the punt return game. But I'm watching now. Jeff Fisher's talking. They're calling a timeout. They're trying to get Austin in the backfield as a running back.
Yeah, Peter, that's been one of the things. That's a staple for them. They had to run those tailback plays, and they can also throw it to him out of there, too.
A timeout taken here. 7-7, second quarter.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV.
Here in Detroit, the Rams off to a great start in this game. Back-to-back 10-play drives. In the first 5 games, they had 4. They've got 2 already today. Keenum dumps it off to Gurley with some room. Gurley diving. And Gurley is going to be marked down at the 1. Tahir Whitehead.
Making you defend the whole field just by motioning Tavon Austin, number 11. Gurley's going to sneak out. Now, if you want to be a successful offense, have receivers block downfield. Mr. Quick, well done, sir. Mr. Britt, excellent and outstanding effort.
And it doesn't have to be those big knockdown blocks either. Just good positioning and don't hold. Don't get a penalty. Here now you got to think power play. Harkey in the backfield, number 46 is a lead blocker. I'm thinking Todd Gurley's coming right at him.
The Lions have allowed 0 rushing touchdowns all year. Keenum rolling out. He's going to walk right in. There's the first rushing touchdown allowed, and the Rams take the lead.
Chris, you just talked about the illusion of things, right? So the illusion was, on the previous play, illusion was Tavon Austin. Here it was Todd Gurley. Excellent fake. What did Rob Boras call that in our meeting? Eye wash?
Yeah,
a little eye wash. Make
you
you think you're seeing one thing. You got to clear your eye because you're seeing something else.
That's Houdini
And that's
stuff
what they
right
just
there.
did there. They faked it to Gurley in case Keenum hot puts it in for a touchdown.
Now, Harkey's saying, man, I could have had a touchdown there, Case. I mean, I get it, but let's play it safe. Our offense is struggling.
Mike Harkey's in the block, not to catch very many passes.
Didn't you just talk to Case yesterday about how his footwork and how fast he is? And
He tried to downplay it,
zone
didn't he?
read, yeah.
He must have known something and didn't trust us.
Zerline's extra point. It is good. Case Keenum using his feet gets in, and the Rams lead 14-7. Small screen, stadium-sized content. Watch live local Sunday games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile.
Got that bad boy queued up for the ride to the airport, don't we? So we can catch the 4 o'clock game. We're good to go, right?
Love all set.
Okay.
You can watch it while you're in the airport, too.
Can I do both?
You can.
All right, then.
Well, Charles and I get that form our opinions for arguing with Skip and Shannon on Undisputed.
That last scoring drive, 11 plays, 84 yards, over 5 minutes again. Case Keenum runs it in for the touchdown.
He's holding on to that job. Yeah, you know, I mean, he's a competitor. Whatever you say about Case, one thing, I love him. He's a competitor, and he loves and embraces being the leader and the guy in the huddle.
Know what he told us a couple weeks ago? My goal to start the year was to be one of those 32 men who are the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. and there's no way he's thinking about letting that get away. He burned for that, just as Chris pointed out. And also what he told us yesterday, I love being in the huddle and having 10 sets of eyes looking at me. He wants to be that guy, and right now, there's no reason to think otherwise. As he looks at the Microsoft Surface Pro to figure out what the next series is going to be. Right now, they are a step ahead of the Detroit defense. And Detroit been substituting defensive fronts, trying to figure out where to go, but they're hitting them at all angles right now, just like a good boxer does.
Greg Zuerlein on to kick off with Andre Roberts back deep. There was a microphone issue on the field. That was the reason for the delay. Zuerlein into the end zone, and Roberts will take a knee for a touchback. Aaron Donald, two-time Pro Bowler in his third year so far. Impressive, even though the numbers aren't there.
Well, it's double teams, and you got to account for Aaron Donald. Now, what that tells for the rest of the offensive line is we saw the hit on Stafford. If Aaron Donald's getting doubled, that means other guys are single. The single guys, you got to win.
You got to win on the edges and make it happen.
And that goes back to the point I'm talking about. Not only in the run game are defensive tackles important, but in the pass game by eating blockers.
And let's keep an eye on Donald and see where he lines up. He has the freedom now to move the defensive end if he would like, to try and create better matchups for himself.
On first down, the handoff to Zach Zinner, who picks up a yard. Let's go back to LA and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Colin Kaepernick gets his first start today for the San Francisco 49ers. Here's his first touchdown. Doesn't come much easier than that. Wide open Torrey Smith makes a move, scores from 53 yards out. And right now, the Niners have the lead in Buffalo in the second quarter. Justin, Charles, Chris, and Peter.
And I can hear people saying, well, that wasn't a great looking pass. He just didn't miss the layup. You know, don't overthrow him. He's so wide open, just put it out there, and then Torrey Smith made a play.
Second down and 9. Stafford. Flag on the play. The pass is complete to Golden Tate for the first down. Let's wait to see what it's going to be. It looks like it's going against the Rams.
Yeah, LaMarcus Joyner holding on to Anquan Bolden.
Holding, defense number 20. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
How many times do you think we could go back and find Anquan Bolden being held in his career because of how tough and physical he is running routes?
That's just the problem that he presents to anybody. You can see he has Joyner out of position and feet crossed. And
right
as a
away.
defensive back, if your feet are crossed, you're beat. You're going to get put on the highlight film in a hurry.
that little spotlight.
Yeah, there you go.
Rewind the play and keep showing it. That brings back flashbacks.
Floyd Robinson lined up as a tight end. The handoff is to Golden Tate, who is lined up as a running back, who picks up 3. And we mentioned it, Golden Tate can be, Chris, you even said it to us in our meetings, almost like the Lions version of Tavon Austin.
Well, you have to be because of the injuries at running back. But look, more and more guys like Golden Tate and Tavon Austin, they're coming up through the ranks in high schools, in Little League. I see it on our Little League highlight package, and in college. And so you start creating positions. And football is a game of copycat. And they don't care where it comes from. If it's successful, they're going to do it.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Third false start of the game for the Lions. One of the best news shows of the fall is Lethal Weapon. Damon Wayans and Clayton Crawford are perfect as Murtagh and Riggs. Action, comedy, drama, Lethal Weapon has it all. Catch an all-new episode Wednesday on Fox.
I'm too old for this. But anyway, moving right along. Green Bay today, Eddie Lacy's up. James Starks is out. His backups, Randall Cobb, Ty Montgomery, who are both receivers.
Trying to set up a little screen pass for Marvin Jones. Only 2 yards. William Hayes, who missed the last 2 weeks with an ankle injury, activated for today's game, makes the tackle.
Let's see where they line Errol Donald up on this, whether it's a defensive tackle position or defensive end. And if you do, are they going to double? And if they do double, then the other Ram players have to win their one-on-one battles. He's lined up as a defensive tackle right outside Graham Glasgow.
3rd and 9 with Zinner at tailback. Stafford dumps it off to Zinner. Makes a move. Zinner's got the first down. A big third down conversion for the Lions. Troy Hill brings him down after a pickup of 15.
Chris, didn't you talk earlier about making guys miss in the secondary, and that's a problem? Before we talked about with Detroit. Here it's Los Angeles. Watch Zach Zenner catches the ball. And Mark Barron is a tackling machine, but at times he will overrun plays, and he did on that one. That allowed Zenner to make the move inside and pick up the first down.
See what you hit what you see, and put your head across the bow. Understanding Zach Zenner's a north-south guy, not an east-west guy. Caused a poor angle.
Corey Robinson in motion, lining up as a tight end. Once again, the pass, a quick pass to Tate, who gets held up by Troy Hill.
That's a gimme. Now, that wasn't the design play. That's eye contact between Stafford and Golden Tate, because you saw Troy Hill playing about 7 yards off. And they just disregard whatever play it is, run the play, look at the depth. So right there's an unspoken communication. I'm just going to rise and throw, and you get 5 yards.
It was a running play, just what Chris described. A running play that was designed to go to the right, just what he talked about. Eye contact, boom, gives it to him. And that's another way that the Lions are trying to get Golden Tate going, keep him involved.
You said rise and fire, I was going to call you Gus Johnson. There you go.
I'm not that good, brother.
Second down at 10, 6-2. Zenner picks up the first down with 6 yards. So moving the chains now are the Lions. E.J. Gaines able to bring him down. Jim Bob Cooter, he took over as the offensive coordinator week 8 of last year. And there's just something that meshes so well with he and Matthew Stafford.
Jim Bob Cooter was a backup quarterback in college. Spent a lot of time with Peyton Manning there at Tennessee, and then a few other people, and they see the game similarly. Same eyes, so when they talk to each other, it's the same language.
Pass to Bolden. And Bolden gets stood up. A pickup of 7. We talk about the relationship of Stafford and Jim Bob Cooter. The relationship with Joe Lombardi, the record, it wasn't there. The results weren't there. But then the transition with Jim Bob Cooter, 8-6, 30 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. The numbers, completion percentage of almost 69%. He's 6th in touchdown passes under Jim Bob Cooter. Little toss to Zenner's got a lead blocker. And Zenner, another first down. 7 yards, tackled by Hill and LaMarcus Joyner.
So, Chris, are we watching a football game or a magic show today? Because once again, you talk about illusion. Here comes Golden Tate across it. Watch the fake to him. Almost like it's a jet sweep and a quick little toss. And look at that, getting out in front. Well done by number 60, Graham Glasgow, the rookie from Michigan. Getting out and leading. Look at him getting out there and running. A center in college playing guard here for the Lions.
10th play of the drive into the red zone here for the Lions. Stafford, the fake, the pass, another completion. Anquan Bolden, another first down.
Everything's a setup. They had that play earlier to Golden Tate. Now, this is trust by Matthew Stafford in using every part of his body. He will use his eyes as Andre Roberts swings to the flat. Then look at Anquan Bolden finding the soft spot of the zone, and you see how he put that away from the inside linebacker coverage right on the outside shoulder. That throw was not behind Anquan Bolden. That throw was exactly where it needed to be.
First and goal from the 4 for Detroit. Stafford, little shuttle pass for Bolden, and Bolden takes it down to the 2.
This is something they put in on Friday. Anquan Bolden, again with his toughness, they feel like they can be an inside runner. Look, he's not coming in here to do anything to block either the outside, but once he goes across the line of scrimmage and disappears, it's a nice job by Alec Ogletree working back inside. But that's the innovation of Jim Bob Cooter, trying to get the best players on your team the ball in their hands by any way possible, or any means possible. He's done that.
Second and goal from the 2. Pass incomplete, intended for Marvin Jones.
Did he throw that like he thought it was going to be a slant?
Yeah.
Instead of him going to fade into the outside?
Absolutely he did.
Because watch Marvin Jones at the top, number 11 in blue. He goes outside and he throws it like it's supposed to be a slant.
That's where the receiver and quarterback have to be on the same page. Because the alignment was head up instead of taking away the inside, that's on Jones. He's got to run the slant based off the corner's alignment.
First incomplete on the drive. Tate in motion. Stafford rolls out, throws it back, incomplete out of the end zone. The pressure was coming. LaMarcus Joyner applying the pressure. And so now it's 4th and goal from the 2.
You don't
They
see
already
a field
went
goal.
for it once on 4th down.
You don't see a field goal unit coming out, do you?
And this crowd loves it.
So if I'm the Rams, what am I doing? I'm blitzing.
Here
I'm
they
playing
come.
tight man and blitzing and forcing somebody to make a play. And I'm finding Troy Hill or E.J. Gaines, and Marvin Jones would be my target right up there.
There's Hill, and here's Gaines down here, number 33 in white, if you're talking about working to the edges.
I'll be shocked if they don't bring pressure. And I'm shocked.
Stafford off the back foot to the end zone. Flag. Touchdown. Andre Roberts.
Pass interference, defense. That penalty is declined. Results of play, touchdown.
Second 4th down conversion of the game. This one is a touchdown.
They're 4 for their last 4, but watch, they're going to drop out here. This is like a zone blitz. I think this is what the surprise was. We thought there was going to be a whole lot of pressure coming. They rushed 3, and Aaron Donald couldn't quite get there. Stafford sidearms it, but watch the top of you, to the left of your screen. E.J. Gaines figures out that Andre Roberts is there, but he figures out late and contacts him early, and that's the flag, and Roberts outfights him for the ball.
Matt Prater's extra point is good, and we're tied at 14. The Lions are 5 for 5 on 4th down this year. This one on 4th is good for a touchdown.
This game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The fans love the decision to go for it on 4th down. They love the result even more. A touchdown.
And think about it this way, guys. You just mentioned 5 for 5 on the year, right, Justin? Going for it on 4th down. Okay, in the last 2 games, he's 4 for 4. He doesn't make those decisions on the sideline at that time. He's made that decision during the week, saying we plan to be aggressive in this ball game. Let's go get it. That's Jim Caldwell's decision.
Benny Cunningham from the 1 after a little bobble. And Cunningham will take it out to the 18. Stafford pressured, threw it off the back foot. The touchdown for Andre Roberts. 3:03 to go here in this first half. 14-14 ball game. Jeff Fisher's team will start at their own 18. Case Keenum 10 for 12 on the afternoon. 110 yards with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run on 1st down. Hands off to Gurley. And let's go back to that touchdown pass by Matthew Stafford.
Well, they're only going to bring 3 and bring Brockers back out here in coverage. Why they don't bring pressure, I don't know, because this allows Matthew time to find a throwing lane. Now, there was pressure there, I get it, but he had time to navigate and move around to find an open throwing lane. If you bring 7, you don't have that time. The other thing, they didn't play man because I don't think they like the matchup with Troy Hill in there, to be honest with you.
Trying to bring extra guys to help him.
The handoff to Tavon Austin. Austin hit at the line.
It's interesting when you look at Austin, isn't it? Because when they line him up at tailback at his size, what's the first thing you think you're going to do with running the ball?
Get outside.
Get to the outside, right? Get to perimeter. He likes running inside zone because he doesn't like to get to the edges. He wants to be able to use his eyes, use his vision, and stay square to the line of scrimmage going through the line.
The 2-minute warning is here. And with that, we'll let our guy Chris Spielman go down to the field to be honored with his 1991 teammates, all tied up at 14. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. 2 minutes to go here in this first half. 5 wide receivers in on 3rd and 4 for the Rams. Benny Cunningham in at tailback. Keenum gets it out to Cunningham, who skips out in front of that first down marker and picks up the first down. Nevin Lawson was there to run him out, a pickup of 5.
And you know, Ziggy Ansah's back for Detroit. Came back from the ankle injury. He's playing with a heavy tape job on it. I saw that in the pregame. But we haven't called his name much today because I think Rob Boris, the offensive coordinator, has done a really nice job of running the game so that Ziggy Ansah can't have an impact. Ball's out of Case Keenum's hands pretty quickly. Ansah can't get home and have any type of force.
Keenum over the middle. Completes the pass to his tight end, Lance Hendricks.
And Lance Kendricks, that's a guy that they've got to continue to find in the middle of the field. He also has some speed. He can stretch things a little bit as well. Another guy that was at the seventh different receiver. They continue to spread it around, and they look good on offense today.
A 7-yard pickup to his 7th different receiver of this first half. 2nd and 3. Keenum out of the pocket. Flag is thrown. Tavon Austin, the intended receiver. It's going to be holding against the Rams.
Holding, offense number 73. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that's Greg Robinson, the former number 2 pick in the draft, who had penalty issues last year. They thought that some of that was going to be tamped down this year. But watch Robinson, and here's something that the Rams offensive line has to continue to adjust to. Case Keenum's mobility. See, the Green Bay Packers know Aaron Rodgers is going to move around and keep plays alive and do it extra. So the offensive linemen play that way. For the Rams, they've got to make sure they understand that Case Keenum can do the same thing and not think the play's over and continue to stay in good position trying to block people.
Now 2nd down and 13. Play clock down to 3. Does he get it off in time? They say he does. Keenum taking the shot down the field. Has the man, Kenny Britt. A huge completion against Darius Slay, last week's hero for the Lions. A 43-yard pickup.
And this is what Kenny Britt does. He averages big yardage downfield, somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 yards per catch over the last 4 years. And what a well-thrown football by Case Keenum. And that's one thing the Rams have to keep in mind. They have big receivers out wide. We focus on Tavon Austin, and he's a smaller player. But Kenny Britt and Brian Quick outside, they have a size advantage on the corners of Detroit, run big boy routes, and give the ball to them.
Biggest play of the game, 43 yards. Keenum, pressure, gets hit as he throws. And there are a couple flags on the play.
The flag at the end was on the play on Austin, talking about maybe holding him. Did they get Ansah as well? Because I thought Ziggy Ansah might be involved in something at the start of the play.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the same team. Offside, defense, that penalty is declined, number 99. Pass interference, defense, number 24. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, 1st down.
And that was Nevin Lawson. And sometimes what happens, if you can't find the football as a defensive back, your panic instinct takes over. This is Lawson working with Tavon Austin. Watch. As he goes down, all right? He doesn't know where the ball is. So he panics a little bit and doesn't trust his technique and reaches out and grabs it. And that created the penalty there. It's a DB. You've got to be able to control that, as tough as it is to do. And it's easy to do from up here than it is down there.
It's a 22-yard penalty and a 1st down, so it's 1st and goal from the 9. Keenum out of the pocket. Fumble. Who recovers?
It's Devin Taylor with the strip sack, a tremendous play, but he could have finished it off. He started to celebrate too early. If they don't get the ball back, Devin Taylor actually had the ball at his feet after he stripped it, but he was looking at the crowd.
The Rams have recovered.
I can't wait to see the replay on this one because I think Devin Taylor could have made an excellent play, a tremendous play, if he finishes it off. Let's see. Look at the chase. Grabs him. Yes, definitely knocks it free. Now watch Devin Taylor. No idea. Look at him. He's looking around. No idea where the ball is. Ansah almost gets it, and then in the scramble, they don't. Terrific play by Devin Taylor, and could have been an absolutely fantastic play if he locates the ball right there. Ball's right behind him. First guy misses. Was that Havenstein for the Rams? And then in the scramble, they end up getting the ball. But what a play by Devin Taylor there. Stripping it away and then not locating it. That's a tough one for the Lions.
14-14, 57 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Great hustle by Devin Taylor, the defensive end, and he gets the ball before Case Keenum can throw it. Yeah, that's clearly a fumble that he caused. And then the ball's behind him a little bit, but he's not locating it at all. And guess who ended up getting the fumble back? It turned out to be it was Case Keenum diving into the pile to get the ball back for the Rams.
Todd Gurley is in for the first time on the drive. On second and goal, Keenum to the end zone, throws it high for Austin, who gets laid out. A flag is thrown. Glover Quinn is the one who delivered the hit against Tavon Austin.
Bunch formation.
Personal foul, defense, hit to the hand and neck area of a defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, half the distance penalty, automatic first down.
And you saw where Glover Quinn was trying to get into the proper strike zone. He was trying to get down below the shoulders, but as the impact and the force of the hit coming through, watch. He comes in low, tries to get to the chest, but see the head right there? No question about it. That's head to head. I mean, there's no getting around it. He tries to go shoulder first, but his helmet contacts Tavon Austin's, and that flag's going to come out every time. You know, they're going to call a receiver defenseless when the ball's up in the air, and maybe it's going away from him. You know, after the ball has gone through. Tough route anyway, because Tavon Austin isn't the skyscraper that you normally have running that route down the middle of the field. Tried to fit it into the shorter receiver, and they were fortunate to get the penalty.
So third flag against the Lions this drive. Now it's first and goal from the 9. Austin in motion. They hand off to him, and he gets wrapped up right away in the backfield by A'Shawn Robinson.
I think that might have been Kerry Hyder there, number 61.
Excuse me, good call, Kerry Hyder.
Watch him getting upfield, playing defensive end now. Reads it all the way, unblocked, sees it clearly, and gets it.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll check in on Tom Brady's first game of the year at Foxborough. Eli Manning and the New York Giants try to turn things around against the Ravens. And Cleveland looks for their first win of the season in Music City. Make sure you join me and these guys on the Visa Halftime Show.
That's pretty good. I like that 4-screen behind Kurt. It's almost Brady Bunches, wasn't it? You know, everybody looking at each other in the open. That's pretty cool.
That's coming up in just a minute or so with 49 seconds to go here.
But they have, you know, you just mentioned Justin Gurley just coming in late in this drive. Can they find a way to mismatch him out of the backfield if they want to throw it?
Second and goal from the 15. Keenum gets it out to Gurley. And Gurley is out of bounds. And there's a player down on the field for the Lions. That is Charles.
And we're getting a heavy Canadian influence in from Regina. Stephen Charles playing there. Remember Akeem Hicks? Also from Regina. Now playing, I believe, with the Saints.
Final timeout taken by Detroit here in the half. 45 seconds to go here in this first half. Tie game, 14-14. Justin Kutcher alongside Charles Davis. Chris Spielman's down the field waiting to be with his teammates from 91. But Charles, a big play right here. 3rd and goal from the 7. What are you looking for?
Well, I think if you're not throwing it out wide to one of your big boys and try and make a play in the end zone, maybe even run it with Gurley inside. They have two timeouts. They could catch him off guard.
Gurley in the backfield. Keenum. Over the middle. Did he break the plane? No, just shy. Caught by Kenny Britt.
That was a big boy throw, but they threw it inside, not outside. Watch Britt working back inside. Look, watch to the middle of the screen. Let's see what they do here.
Hang on. They're going to review this one first.
And I think Los Angeles may find this review favorable.
The previous play is under review.
They may find this review favorable. I thought he might have broken the plane on the catch.
I agree. And
middle of the screen, Britt going to come underneath, ball delivered, there's the catch. Good tackle. No, that's going to be close. But he may not have gotten in. I'm telling you, that's tough. And remember, the officials are doing a really nice job with replay this year of staying with the original call on the field if they don't have absolute proof.
And let's bring in Mike Pereira right now from LA. And Mike, you can talk about what Charles just said and also what you're looking for on this play.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this play, and of course we gave them a great down-the-line shot, did the ball ever break the plane? And I don't think the ball ever broke the plane. I think it's a great spot. He gets forward progress right to the point where he's contacted by the defender, and then when he's driven back, he gets that forwardmost point. He doesn't break the plane. Now, your point about the replays, it's amazing how the number of replays are down like 40% this year, which I think is terrific. And they're staying with the calls more often, what is that a reflection of? I actually think some really good calls that are being made on the field, but they'll probably, to me, should be able to confirm this as being the right call on the field.
Yeah, Mike, I would agree with you, and that's going to bring up a real interesting situation for Los Angeles now.
And here comes John Hussey, our referee, with the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It will be 4th down.
So now,
go for it.
You go for it.
Go for it. Listen,
right.
The Rams have prided themselves on being a physical team, run first, the whole deal. The last time they were close to this situation, what'd they do? They did an illusion play and faked it. This time, lots of power. Number 30 coming at you. Let's see if they get it done.
The Lions converted on 4th and goal for a touchdown to tie it at 14.
If they hand it inside to Gurley here, Justin, this is an identity call because the Rams want to get their identity and continue to create that identity of being a very physical, forceful type of a team. They fooled them the last time. This time, they may very well go ahead and attack right at them.
So with 3 seconds left, the Rams will call a timeout. And they will be able to talk it over. Because the conversation right now is what play do you want to run? And obviously, give the Lions no chance whatsoever at getting the ball back here in this first half.
Look, it's 4 seconds to go. Here's the thing. The Rams have always talked about in these close games, field goals are good. But this close to the goal line, field goal wouldn't feel good to them, I don't believe. I think that they go ahead and line up and try and get the touchdown and continue to build on that identity they're creating for themselves as a very physical football team.
Okay, before with you and Chris, you were talking about illusions and setting up things for later in the game. You mentioned before, when they were down this close, they ran it with Case Keenum. Does that set up this, or are the Lions just saying, hey, we're expecting power?
It puts doubt in their mind, but I would expect power first.
Keenum hands off to Gurley, and Gurley gets stuffed. Stephen Charles was the first to make contact.
They changed the line of scrimmage. They turned it from being a foot line to really back to the yard line. Look at what they did on the penetration. Charles was through there. There's Whitehead over the top. Tyron Walker at the bottom of the pile. A fantastic job of resetting the line of scrimmage by the defensive front of the Lions.
The worst red zone defense in the league just made a big-time hold. The Rams will receive the kick to start the second half. Now let's go to Kurt Menefee in LA for the Visa halftime show. A new Nissan Titan. Stafford to the end zone. Touchdown. Completes to Britt, spins, Britt reaches for the end zone, touchdown. Keenum hands off to Gurley, and Gurley gets stuffed. And that was today's excitement, brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Back here inside Ford Field, all tied up at 14. And guess who made it back to the booth in time? Chris Spielman, welcome back.
I can still move, man. That's nice.
Jerry Balls kept you clean again.
Absolutely. He was the lead blocker. I love it.
Run and hit. Good to have you back.
Yeah.
We said goodbye to you at the 2-minute warning. What was it like being back on the field with your teammates from 1991?
Just a lot of great memories. And you know, the interesting thing about that team, we'd be fighting on one play and hugging the next play. But there was honesty and accountability and true family feeling amongst it. And all great teams have that.
Yeah, you guys lost to the Super Bowl champions from Washington, but you beat Buffalo during the regular season, who they played in the Super Bowl. That's a good team.
So that's second place. That's in my eyes. That's second place.
I'm trying to help out here.
Yeah.
All right, they're about to kick off right now, but real quick, Charles, it was a really good first half of football that we saw.
It was, and I think the sequence at the end of the first half typified who the Rams want to be and think they are. Going for it there, I think when Jeff Fisher saw the ball that close to the goal line, there was no question in his mind he had to go for it, even if they were unsuccessful, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Benny Cunningham tries to return from a couple yards deep out of the end zone, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and he'll bring it out to the 27-yard line. We do have a penalty flag down at the 20.
During the return, holding number 97. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Los Angeles keeps the ball. First down.
All right, let's check in with Peter Schrager on what he learned from the coaches.
Hey, Justin, 4th and 1, 4 seconds left. They go for it. I asked LA Rams coach Jeff Fisher, do you have any second? He goes, no, that's us. That's our identity. He goes, I would have loved to have made it, but now we get the ball back and we've got to do it again. As for Coach Jim Caldwell, he said we had 3 false start penalties at home. That's 3 too many. A lot of careless mistakes, but it's 14-14. We've got again.
We do have a game. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 10 for the Rams. Todd Gurley takes the handoff, and he gets hit in the backfield by Kerry Hyder, a loss of 1. And looking back at that first half, how about the Rams? All 3 of their drives were at least 10 plays or more, a couple of touchdowns. Gurley 11 touches for 77 yards. But the big play, maybe the momentum shifter, was that goal line stand by the lines to end the first half.
Well, and they needed that, and especially on a run play. And I was down there right behind the goal line, had to almost jump in, but I didn't have to. But it's about lone man wins. The Lions' penetration by their defensive line stood up the Rams' offensive line, bring it back.
Keenum completes the pass to his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And Kendricks gets 6.
And after the penalty on the kickoff, starts LA deep in their own territory. Chris, as a defensive guy, play call, signal caller, the whole deal. What would you have said on first down in the huddle to your defense when you got the offense backed up to start the second half?
First of all, I would have changed the defensive coordinator's call and called a blitz right there, because I know they're going to be conservative. And I could take a shot at running a run blitz to get either a turnover or more lost yardage. That's what I would have done. Then I would have been pulled out of the game and fined.
they just would have fined you. They wouldn't have pulled you out. They needed you out there.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 5. But the flag is thrown. And a false start against the Rams.
Here's the thing, too, with the Rams and moving forward to the second half.
Number 11 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
The first half, they were established a variety of receivers to get the ball to Britt, to get the ball to Tavon Austin, to Gurley, to Marquez. A bunch of guys were catching the ball. For them to be effective moving on, they have to have their whole roster in play as far as skilled players go.
7 different receivers caught a pass in that first half. 3rd and 10 now. Cunningham in the backfield for the Rams. Tavon Austin in motion. Another flag. Another false start.
That's the Ziggy effect. That's the Ziggy effect right there.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And you mean Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at his eyes. Her eyes are looking inside too.
That's a sprinter stance right there from the former track and field athlete at BYU. They were coming over to double him as well.
You have to. I mean, he's too much of a threat.
He's a game wrecker.
He's 100%. There's nobody that gives greater effort than Ziggy Ansah at all.
Listen to this place right now in Ford Field. 3rd and 15. Keenum delayed handoff. And just trying to get some room was Cunningham. And he gets just a couple of yards. So a punt coming up now for the Rams.
And Chris, the Ziggy effect was there, but I have to think this Ford Field crowd got involved as well. You know, you hear about it in other places, right? Seattle's a big one. Arizona's a big one in helping their defense and getting false starts. Back-to-back false starts, the Detroit crowd has to feel good about their effect on the game as well.
They're doing their part.
First punt of the game for Johnny Hekker. A good high punt. Roberts, the fair catch, signaled and made at the 40-yard line. So Chris Spielman, a hero when he was playing, still a hero. Throw it to the kid. That's awesome. Well done.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Ford F-Series, the official truck of the NFL. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Yep, that was the Southeast Michigan Pop Warner Football League in action yesterday at Stafford Field at Lidkey Park on the city's east side. It was the Oak Park Trojans against the Ypsilanti Panthers.
Did you say Stafford Field?
That's right.
Would that be this Matt Stafford?
Yes, this Matthew Stafford involved in Pop Warner football. The handoff to Justin Forsett, and he was greeted rudely by Josh Forrest. Tackled for a loss of 5.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the second play that Josh Forrest has made unblocked. And right there, when you put a tackle as a tight end and you put him up in a 2-point stance, he's not comfortable. He'll throw the no-hitter, as you see the Rams tending to rockers, the fine defensive tackle.
A little baseball, like it.
Michael Brockers, the player injured on that last play, was inactive last week with a hip injury. Robert Quinn, inactive this week as well, missed last week also with a shoulder injury. So that defensive line certainly hurt right now for the Rams. Stafford gonna run for it on second, now slides alertly and avoids the contact. And time for a game break. Let's go out to LA and check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Justin. Cincinnati at New England. Brandon LaFell, 5-yard touchdown catch from Andy Dalton. LaFell spent the last 2 seasons with New England. It's now 14-12 after a Patriot safety. Justin?
Thank you very much. Here it is all tied up at 14. 3rd and 12 coming up for the Lions. That's your Omaha.
Got a free
Got
play.
a flag, free play. Stafford taking the chance down the field, has Tate wide open. Makes a move, another move. Tate rolling to the end zone, touchdown. "62 yards on a free play."
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Well, you're playing zone. You got a job deep as the deepest. That means nobody gets behind you. So you have a free play. When you get lost in traffic coming here, when there's a guy outside, you have a free safety for the inside receiver. Your job is to stay outside. So that's a mental coverage bust right there. Stafford, with his knowledge and seeing the field, saw the corner jump inside, known the deep outside was wide open, and took advantage of the 3-play.
And yes, Justin, you did hear Omaha. There's no doubt about it. He called Omaha on it and then threw the bad boy down deep. But the beauty was these teams practice these plays a lot more now than they used to. When people jump, then you're able to go ahead and you got a free play and people adjust and make the play.
And Troy Hill clipped his foot, touched his foot.
So he should be back there.
And down.
This play will be reviewed. We'll be back after this.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Join the Better Network because better matters.
Okay, this touchdown's coming back. They're going to call it down by contact. This is what Mike Wimmer, our
After
replay
review,
official,
the
says.
ruling on the field has been reversed. The runner was touched down by contact on his foot. The ball will be placed at the 1.5-yard line. First down.
Right there. And Mike Wimmer in New York talking in concert, I think they got it right. I mean, he barely swiped him, but he did get a hand on him down by contact.
That was Troy Hill, and Troy Hill was the one that jumped the inside deep receiver when he should have stayed outside. That goes back to the open. Anytime you have a new corner, Troy Hill's replacing Jermaine Johnson, he's got a big red X. Attack, attack, attack. Marvin Jones, touchdown, and Stafford coming back early in the first half after Hill.
And weren't you raised by an old school football coach? When a replacement comes in, you test him right away, don't you?
Yes, sir.
First and goal. Zenner takes the handoff, and Zenner trying to cut it back, gets hit. Alec Ogletree.
See, this is where it's going to be difficult for Detroit because the power runner is not playing today in Dwayne Washington. He would be the guy with some bulk now near the goal line. So you're talking about using a smaller back in Zach Zenner, and you have Justin Forsett who just joined the team. So maybe you don't have quite as much confidence with him in the playbook. So they may have to do a little bit more of that, fool them down near the goal line as opposed to overpower them.
Plus their big-time tight end receiver, Eric Ebron, out with injury. He's a threat in the red zone. Kari Lee, number 86, taking his place.
After losing a couple yards, second and goal from the 4. The pass over the middle. There's Bolden for the touchdown. Well, they lose one tight end, and Anquan Bolden can be like a tight end, and he gets the touchdown.
Excellent point, Justin. Excellent point, because Chris and I talked about this offline before. Who's going to take the tight end routes, Chris?
Well, they're going to try to put Alec Ogletree, but he's late. And the problem is LaMarcus Joyner goes for the ball fake. So LaMarcus Joyner, poor eye discipline because the offensive tackle stood up on play action. He's got to find Bolden and not letting him a free release, putting Ogletree in a bad position to try to make a play from too far away.
If you can't overpower them, you got to trick them a little bit, and they did exactly that on that play with the ball fake and an excellent throw and catch.
Matt Prater's extra point. And once again, the Lions lead by a touchdown. Let's go back to LA as the Lions lead by 7 for a game break. Once again, here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Justin. We'll go back to New England. Brady's first home game of the year and Gronk's first touchdown of the year coming in week 6. It's a 4-yard score. It puts the Pats up 19-14. Justin?
All right, thanks, Carissa. It's a 21-14 game here now in Detroit. A big-time play by Matthew Stafford. His awareness on that free play, taking that shot down the field. But, Chris, you talked about it in the open. With the injury, you said that this Lions team was going to pick on that secondary for the Rams, and they have been doing it throughout this game.
Well, and they'll keep doing it. And it's Troy Hill is doing a good job, but just because you do a good job in 5 or 6 plays in a row, it's a lonely place out on the corner. Now, moving forward, the Rams offense, they were able to answer when the Lions scored off the bat. They have to regroup and answer and start getting all their skilled players involved and not too much of the Gurley Tavon Austin show.
See, I think
bring all in, you get Gurley and Austin in.
And Chris, I think they've got big receivers, big frame guys out wide against smaller defensive backs. Throw some big boy routes and let them get involved.
We saw an injury for the LA Rams in Michael Brockers on that last drive. Peter Schrager, what more can you tell us about Michael Brockers?
Yeah, Justin, it's what we feared. It's that right hip, the same one. He's questionable to return. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, talking with him. So is the medical staff. But like you said, Robert Quinn already out, Trumaine Johnson already out, and now Brockers questionable to return.
Watch Brockers, he'll be right in the middle. Big defensive tackle who can stuff the run, but also has pass rush ability. And that, Chris, I think you were right. We talked offline. He was hurt on the snap.
Yeah.
As soon as the snap, he was already feeling the effects of that injury as he went down.
On first down, play action. Keenum taking the shot for Kenny Britt. The one-handed grab. Does he hang on? He does. What a catch by Kenny Britt.
And partners, would this qualify as a big boy route?
Absolutely. You called it. Big receiver.
With a big receiver on a smaller DB, and look at the catch by Britt. Brings his second hand in and stays with it.
Let's see. They were trying to get the play off before a challenge. It was a 47-yard completion. Jim Caldwell threw the challenge flag.
And you can't blame him for throwing it because that changed field position so drastically on that play. You know, throw the challenge flag and see if you can get something out of it.
Absolutely.
Detroit is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed
We'll be
catch.
back and we'll have a decision whether it will stand or be reversed. The Lions challenge the call of a catch by Kenny Britt. Here is the call
After
by John
review,
Hussey.
The ball never hit the ground as the receiver was completing the catch. The call on the field is confirmed. First down. Detroit will be charged a timeout.
Let's bring in Mike Pereira. And Mike, an incredible catch by Kenny Britt.
And I'll tell you, an incredible call by side judge Alan Baines. He had to stay with this. Possession between the legs is not controlled. Then it comes loose again. He has to watch it the whole time to make sure it doesn't hit the ground. Just a terrific call along with a terrific catch.
So, Mike, very quickly, there's no time clock on that, right? It's to the conclusion of the play, correct?
Through the conclusion of the play, and that ball between the legs is not considered control. He doesn't get it until he grasps it by his hands, and he finally did.
Well, here on first down, after that big completion, they get it out to the tight end, Lance Kendricks.
That's what we're seeing right here, Justin. Kenny Britt on the first play, Lance Kendricks. Now you get those guys involved early, so now you start bringing in Gurley and Austin because you have to defend the whole field, Charles.
And use that size of those receivers. Use the size of a Lance Kendricks. Get them in motion, get them some momentum. Maybe they break a tackle downfield before you come back and wham them with Todd Gurley, as Chris said.
It was a 47-yard completion to Kenny Britt. It's now 2nd and 6 here. Case Keenum is 18 of 20 on the day. Play clock down to 1. Look at a broken play right there. Keenum making something out of nothing. Gurley went one way. Keenum thought he had him the other way.
And that's on Gurley. That's his fault because the whole line was blocking left. But when you have experience and presence and understanding, Keenum doesn't panic. Watch Gurley's going to
watch him. He's going to come up and ask for the call. All right, see? Just what you were talking about. Well, we didn't see it there, but he had actually come up before and asked for the call and then went back and still went the wrong direction.
Patience of Keenum made that play successful. Didn't panic.
3rd and 2. Keenum calls over Gurley. Pressure coming. They dump it out to Gurley, who's got the first down. Shoved out of bounds by Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy has to read the angle of the shoulders of Gurley. That's how you cover as a linebacker. I was never great, but when I did do well, I would read the shoulders of the running back out in the route. If your shoulders are square, chances are he's going to come back inside. If his shoulders are pointing outside, he's going right to the flat now. And Kyle Van Noy can help himself by position by widening out on 3rd and 2.
Red zone opportunity here. On first down, the handoff to Gurley, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Zettel with the tackle. 2nd down and 10 coming up here for the Rams.
Zettel's really played well for the Lions in so many different ways. It won't show up in the stat sheet. overlooked at Penn State because Austin Johnson came out last year in the draft. Carl Nassib came out in the draft. He was the 3rd defensive lineman, but he's been versatile for them and starting to give them more and more plays on defense.
On 2nd and 10, Keenum taking the shot to the end zone. Touchdown to the tight end, Lance Kendricks.
Matchups all day long, and they clearly found one that they love. Kendricks, number 88, working on Kyle Van Noy. And Kyle does a decent job off the get-go. Doesn't get enough shoulder on him, but when you get behind him and you give him a two-way go, understand where your help is, he gets to the outside, that's a win for Lance Kendricks, who can run routes.
Chris, if he's going to take him head up like that, he's got to get more force on him.
Yeah,
if you're going to get him head up like that, you've got to put a chuck on him and hit him and alter the route. Instead, he just put his hands on him, and Kendricks just ran right through that.
The 16th career touchdown catch for Lance Kendricks, the first of the season. And now Greg Zuerlein on to tie this game up. Case Keenum is 20 of 22 for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we're all tied up at 21. So some quick math will show you that there have been a combined 6 incomplete passes on the day between Case Keenum and Matthew Stafford.
And 5 touchdown passes.
And 5 touchdown passes.
That may be an inverse ratio.
Wow.
But it's a ratio that works. That's pretty good right there.
Zuerlein to kick off. Andre Roberts. He will take a knee in the end zone. Well, during halftime, the 1991 NFC Central champions.
GOAT, right there. Greatest of all time.
He was something, wasn't he?
What was it like playing with that guy?
It's the only guy that I'd watch defensive film, but I would actually take time and go in the offensive meeting room, and not as a player, but watch Barry Sanders as a fan. Wow. And control the clicker, which I would just sit there and run it back, and how did he do that? He was the best.
And I know how much time you spent prepping for a game. So for you to take that extra time to watch that, that's impressive.
On first down, the handoff to Zenner. And Zenner gets stuffed in the backfield.
I want to show you if we can have a pit replay of this, or an end zone, of how to play a pulling guard block. Watch number 95, Hayes. This is beautiful. Watch this. He's going to get Glasgow. Now watch him take him out and make a pile. This is your job. All you have to do is make a pile. When you go there and make a pile, you take his running lane away with his body executed at the highest level. Right there.
Turns it into a loss of 3 on the play, so second down to 13. Stafford dumps it off to Zenner. And Zenner runs right into LaMarcus Joyner. He'll pick up 4 yards. 3rd and long coming up.
LaMarcus Joyner's 5'8", 184 pounds.
But
he plays at 6'2", 220.
And angry.
And I'm telling you, he's one of the best college football players I saw as a defender, and he's brought that into the pros.
And when you see open field like that, did you see how quickly those white shirts got there? All of a sudden, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, pop, pop, pop on the running back. That was impressive.
The Rams looking for their first 3 and out of the day. 3rd and 9 coming up. Stafford forced out of the pocket. Throwing all the way across the field, and that is incomplete. Diving was LaMarcus Joyner.
The first poor decision I've seen Matthew Stafford make in 2 weeks. He gave up the first down. He trusted this too much when he needed to trust those eyes. Don't trust your arm when your eyes, because he had the first down. He's got to make that decision and go.
You think he saw Barron there, 26, and decided he'd rather throw it? Because that was really arm talent arrogance there.
Yeah. And I don't mind that.
Because he has great arm talent, as we well know. But maybe he saw Barron there and said, you know, I'm going to rather throw it than try and run through him.
And he's on the sideline. Trust your eyes sometimes. They're good enough, too.
Sam Martin's second punt of the game. Tavon Austin catching it, moving backwards at the 20. And Austin gets wrapped up at the 20. A Good special teams tackle by Thurston Armbrister. Well, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the hottest topics, and tomorrow they'll be joined by NFL insider Mike Lombardi and former Packers great Greg Jennings live in studio. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on FS1. I know that Chris will be driving back to Columbus tonight and have his alarm set to wake up and watch it.
That's the poor man Charles Davis and Chris Gilman right there. Charles and I have some great discussions.
We got to get them captured.
Yep.
No, we got to get them captured. Here we go.
Gurley got off to that great start, slowed ever since on first down. A quick pass to Brian Quick. And Quick gets 12 yards and a first down. So it's almost as if Gurley's become like a decoy now ever since that first drive.
Well, I mean, you can use them, but you don't have to use them because if they're taking away Gurley, so that opens up everybody else. So let's get Kendricks involved. Let's get Quick involved. Let's get Austin involved. No ball the way? Yeah. If we want to throw deep, Kenny Britton go get the deep ball.
And you can still use Gurley. Use him in the passing game. Get him out in the flat. Throw it to him.
Tavon Austin now in the backfield. Keenum, play action. Dumps it off to his tight end, Kendricks. Tahir Whitehead with a stop after a pickup of 3.
You know, it wasn't much of a gain. You just noted it, Justin. It's 3 yards. But did you see Case Keenum work through progressions there and never panic on the play? Because it was a play, because you just called for Kendricks, right, Chris?
Yep.
That play was designed for him. Coming underneath on the line of scrimmage. Also had another receiver downfield in the same sight line. Went through those 2 first, and then came back to Kendricks when he finally worked himself free.
Gurley back in the backfield on 2nd down and 8. Gurley made a nice cut in the backfield and picks up some positive yards.
Chris, you talked offline with us about Gurley needs to make more people miss. Is that an example of what you're looking for from him?
And I think that's going to keep coming. The more the reps he gets and the better feel he gets. But early on, he's not breaking tackles and making people miss. You can complain about the offensive line all you want. Great NFL running backs make people miss. And he's starting to do that this game.
Like, you mean Barry Sanders?
Yeah, he made everybody. Everybody.
3rd and 5. Benny Cunningham is in, split out.
Got a zone here.
Keenum finds Britt, cuts it back upfield to get the first down, and he does have it.
That play never should have worked because they had the right defense because it was zone. Britt didn't settle down at the first down line. What he did, ran across right into the zone. But because Quandre Diggs went so low to tackle him, watch number 28, Quandre Diggs, right there coming up. Watch him go low. In any type of those situations, you have to go high against a bigger man, or he just goes over the top and gets the first down. Should have never worked.
Good job by Britt planting the foot, though, and driving forward to pick it up.
Cunningham on the carry. Up to the 48 of Detroit. Kyrie Thornton with a tackle, a pickup of 8. Guys, how about Case Keenum? You know, people want to talk about this Rams team. The #1 overall pick was Jared Goff. Case Keenum is 23 of 25 in this game. 277 yards. He's making right decisions seemingly each and every play.
He's bounced back from what he did last week against Buffalo. You know, Buffalo, his numbers weren't bad, 21 of 31, 271. But a pick 6 and a second interception. No interceptions today. Taking care of the ball very well.
Keenum, a wide open receiver. Again, another move to make somebody miss is Brian Quick. And Quick is up to the 28. That's 17 consecutive completions for Keenum.
Yeah, and when it works and you're having a good day, even when you throw a knuckleball. This is Phil Necro. Watch this ball. This ball's Phil Necro'd out there. Look at that.
It looked a little more like Wilhelm.
It slipped out of his hands, but again, he's having a day. And he threw a catchable ball out there.
Was there a touch of Gaylord Perry in that one?
Didn't have any Vaseline on it.
No
So I think we're all right.
on that one, right?
Keenum able to find Tavon Austin. And Austin has another first down as he gets 12.
You know what else these Rams receivers are doing today? They're making contested catches too.
Look at, and they brought Harkey up here, Charles, anticipating blitz.
And look what he takes a look at.
Just then, if it doesn't blitz, you get help on a double team to create a throwing lane and a perfectly thrown ball to Tavon Austin.
Nice job by Austin, strong enough to take it away from the defender who does make a play on the football. Everyone in rhythm right now for Los Angeles, working with their quarterback who's on a hot streak.
The handoff to Gurley up the middle, and look at what all these completions are now doing for Gurley.
And I'll tell you what else it's doing for him is Jamon Brown, who was a starter last year, was a starter this year, starting today, and wants his starting job back. Number 68 is playing. Right there, he used his big body, walled off his guy, then works to the second level. Jamon Brown made that play go. Give some guards some love, Charles.
I'm giving him plenty of love. Big love.
6 touchdowns, 7 incompletions on the day. We head to the 4th. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. All tied up at 21 as we move to the 4th. Case Keenum, 18 consecutive completions, tying a Rams record. And yeah, that's right, we busted out Jim Everett. It is 2nd down and 2.
Soon to be followed by Roman Gabriel.
Gurley takes the handoff. It looks like he's going to be stopped shy of the 1st down marker. It's Stephen Charles who came up with that big stop on 4th and goal to end the 1st half. In a tie game, as well as the offenses have been moving the ball.
You know, last time they went, you know, they ran it inside with Gurley on the 4th down short, but the play that's worked best was faking it to Gurley and getting Keenum out on the corner. A little run pass option for him. Let's see if they try and go back to that.
It's 3rd and 1. Keenum to pass. He completes it to Britt, bounces off a defender, and Britt into the end zone for the touchdown. What an effort by Kenny Britt.
Well, first of all, he's being held by Darius Slay. Darius Slay has a handful of jersey. No flag was thrown. And watch the strength of Britt. And this is why receivers are so big. See the jersey being pulled? Doesn't matter. Kenny Britt is going to run through guys that refuse to wrap up on tackles. I don't understand the body punches here. If you're going to take a big man down, you must wrap him up and drive your feet. Not come in, lower your shoulder, go to your knees, because the big man will just bounce off, Charles. That's poor, disciplined, not technical and tackling.
Now that's a linebacker that's getting angry about what he's seeing. And I just want everyone to know, up here in the booth, we're with him.
Not angry.
So if you don't hear me the rest of the game, that's when Chris hit me with the forearm and showed me how to wrap up.
Execute fundamentals under pressure. Unconscious competence.
Exactly. Frank Crash Gans used to teach you.
Zuerlein's extra point is good. The Rams now lead 28-21. Case Keenum, 3 touchdown passes on the day, 2 incompletions.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's and by the new Bacon King sandwich, only at Burger King.
A beautiful look of Ford Field right next to Comerica Park. Case Keenum has now set a Rams record, 19 consecutive completions. The 9-yard touchdown pass to Kenny Britt.
Finding some answers in that Microsoft Surface, man.
Andre Roberts from a yard deep in the end zone. And Roberts is run out at the 16. Well, the Rams, they're kind of frequent flyers right now. They go from LA to here in Detroit. That's okay, just under 2,000 miles. But after this game, they're going to have a Thanksgiving-type meal, then fly to London where they'll take on the New York Giants. Then they'll fly back to LA. So all that will total over 11,000 miles. It's too bad they don't get frequent flyer miles. Because really, if you're like executive status, you would double that. You're looking at 22,000 miles. That could be good.
You can tell you're a traveling man. You figured out the miles, what you get out of it. But here's the thing. Those miles travel easier if you're winning. If you take wins with you, you don't mind the miles quite as much.
A drop pass on 1st down by Marvin Jones.
And this is a little bit of a dangerous spot here for the Lions because the momentum is clearly in Los Angeles' camp, and they can't let it get away from them right now. So you've got to make the routine plays in order to keep the ball progressive.
Stafford on second down, another drop ball. Maybe this is a bit behind Golden Tate, but hits him in the hands. Chris, you said before, hits him in the hands. You got to make
NFL receiver. I mean, you get paid to catch the ball, and see Stafford takes a shot right here, and I know Aaron Donald is in on this play. Number 99 working on. See, if he's singled, that's what happens.
Yep.
He's working on the rookie, Graham Glasgow. You can't single him. You have to double him every play.
Someone's got to make a play here for Detroit. Otherwise, the momentum really gets firm for LA.
Free play. Stafford, though, lost the ball as he was trying to get ready to throw. There are flags.
Well, Westbrooks was coming with some bad intentions.
I think they may end up getting a 5-yard penalty against Los Angeles.
Offside. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Smart by Matthew Stafford, huh, man? Yep. Just to go that hard count to slow that hard pass rush down.
And make it, instead of 3rd and 10, now it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and what we always call manageable. Whole lot better in your playbook for Jim Bob Cooter at 3rd and 5 than the 3rd and 10 call.
Rams are playing man free. That means everybody's man with free safety sitting about 25 yards back there. Who's going to win a one-on-one matchup versus skill? There's Marvin Jones right there.
The pass over the middle is complete to Andre Roberts for the 1st down. So that penalty was big.
Huge. Absolutely huge, because it set up a 3rd and 5 call, gave them the opportunities, as Chris just talked about, who's going to win one-on-one. Andre Roberts did against E.J. Gaines.
To change the defensive call. You can play zone in 3rd and 10. You have to play man in 3rd and 5.
Hand off to Zinner. Another flag comes in from the backfield.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Travis Swanson, the center, 2nd year starting here in Detroit. Let's see what they catch him doing. Yeah, right there, Dominique Easley beat him off the snap, and he's just trying to hold on to make sure he doesn't get back to his ball carrier, and he was unsuccessful in both attempts.
So now 1st and 20. Handoff to Zinner, has some room. Zinner, a great run on 1st and 20, gets 19. How about that little play call?
Chris, it seemed to me that LA really got up the field with the defensive ends and gave him a lane.
Well, and as a defensive guy, you have to understand on 1st and 20, the first alert that you give everybody in the huddle, alert, screen, and draw. Because the goal is to get that 10 back at least. And they got more.
So all of a sudden, a 1st and 20 turns into a 2nd down and 1.
And actually really opens up the playbook. If they think they got him a little unsettled, maybe you give Matthew Stafford a chance here.
Justin Forsett in at running back, takes the handoff. Forsett, he may lose a yard. Forsett playing in his 1st game with the Lions, gets tackled by Aaron Donald and E.J. Gaines.
So now what do you do if you're the Rams? What I do again, you got to play man, in my opinion. And the other thing is bring pressure. You have to bring pressure against the Lions, or Matthew Stafford, if you're in any type of man, will tuck it and run if nothing's there, and he's good enough to get it with his feet.
And then that's what you're getting, because back here, there's your free safety, and it looks like everyone else is locked up man-to-man, as you called.
Play clock down to 1. Stafford swings it out to Tate. He's got the 1st down. Tate makes a move, and now he's out of bounds.
Lack of communication. Nice little pick route or rub route, depending which side of the ball you love. And again, not communication between Joyner and Hill. They run into each other, bump everybody off, and it's an easy pitch and catch for Stafford to Tate.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but that was a really well executed rub route.
Oh, wow.
Because he did not run, you know, Marvin Jones didn't run into anyone, no contact. He just set up like he was screening in basketball. And then he came off of him, really nicely done, and picks up the first down. Did I just give them credit? Didn't call it a pick? Wow.
Play action. A drop ball by Justin Forsett.
They are making, you know, this drive has proceeded almost in spite of themselves, hasn't it?
That's
the third drop on this
ball
drive. On this drive. And they're still moving the ball downfield. So guys are coming up with plays. They got help with the penalty. Remember, on for 3rd and 10. And then the big run by Zenner on 1st and 20. So they put themselves in better spots. But it's hard to believe after you've had 3 drops and they're still across midfield.
At the 46 of the Rams. Forsett takes the inside handoff, and look at him just get thrown backwards. The forward momentum gets stopped. And it's Aaron Donald just showing off the strength at 6'1", 285. This is a strong, strong kid.
Measured in at less than 10% body fat in preseason.
Well, you know, and everybody talks about his size as he's a smaller guy. Shorter guys play with great leverage because they play with great pad level. Their pads are always, his pads are always lower than his opponent's pads.
Look how deep the safeties play. That means if you win against your man, even if it's against zone, it's hard for the safeties to get there and impact the play.
Joyner, they're showing blitz off the edge. And now a flag.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, no touchdown for Odell Beckham Jr. through the first 4 games. He's now got 2 in the last 2. This one 75 yards from Eli Manning. Afterwards, he makes sure everybody remembered he got hit in the head with that net by excessively celebrating. But he did do it on the sideline, so no penalty. 17-13 Giants with the lead in the 4th. Justin.
He's starting to have fun, isn't he? That's what they've been looking for him to do. Have fun and let your play stand for itself.
On 3rd and 12, Stafford fakes, throws. Is there a flag? Yes, there is. The intended receiver, Marvin Jones, Maurice Alexander, came over too early.
So my question is, was it a penalty on the play, or was it a penalty almost post-play?
Pass interference. Defense number 31. The ball we placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Was it really there early is my question.
I mean, that's because Jones didn't have a chance to go make a play for the ball, but this is trust in your arm. I mean, this is the fastball, getting it over the top of the corner, and that's close.
So there he is. He's riding him on the back.
Right arm with the hook.
That view was excellent. Excellent job by our crew. See, he's right there. He's a little bit early. He's riding him on the back. Really nice call on the sideline.
It was 3rd and 12. It's a 17-yard penalty. The first down here for the Lions, trailing by 7, coming up on 9 minutes to go. They give it to Marvin Jones. And Jones will take it up for 3.
Chris, in my opinion, that call there is trying 2 things. One, you're trying to take advantage of the speed of Los Angeles and use it against themselves. But the second thing is, I don't think their normal run game has worked for a while now. Okay, so they've got to try and figure out other ways to still run it, but not run it just the normal inside runs, because LA's been swallowing those.
You lose Riddick, you lose Washington, you lose Abdullah. You got to get creative in your play calling.
2nd down and 7 here for Detroit. Stafford completes the pass to Clay Harbor. The first catch for Harbor on the day.
It's only his 2nd week here in Detroit. He actually had, last week was his first week in town, and he played 23 snaps against Philadelphia. Jim Caldwell said he picked up the playbook faster than probably anyone he's ever had. Says absolutely unbelievable. He said, I don't know what he got in grades at Missouri State, but I'm pretty sure they were pretty much straight A's across the board with his ability to adapt.
3rd and 4, 11th play of the drive coming up here for the Lions. Stafford Stepping up, Stafford trying to run for that first down. Really close to it.
Did you hear Matthew Stafford call 31, 31, 31?
He's got it.
He's telling his offensive tackles, so Matthew Stafford's going to point to number 31 right here. That's the safety. That's telling his offensive tackle that you got to, everybody sliding this way, you got to come get him. And right there, Decker does a great job of just sealing him off, creating a throwing lane, but Matthew turned it into a running lane, and that's the result, him pointing downfield for the first down, just by calling 31 and where the blitz is coming from.
First and 10 from the 20. The toss to Zenner. Trying to get outside, and Zenner cannot. Initially got hit by E.J. Gaines to slow him down. LaMarcus Joyner brought him down.
So, you know, I love Zenner because he's tough. He's hard-nosed. He's north and south. So I want to give him a position to win, and he's not going to win on a toss sweep.
Yeah.
Because the speed right there is too good for the Rams. And so if you're going to run Zenner, you want to have success, hit him with traps and inside runs. That's where he's tough and most effective.
And he was actually quicker to the corner than any of his offensive linemen could be, at no protection at all.
LaMarcus Joyner being called over by one of the officials.
This might be one of those safety plays where maybe someone phoned down and said, take a look at number 20, please.
Dwayne Gratz just off the roster from Jacksonville onto the roster of the Rams. Replacement, fresh body in there. If you can attack.
And Gratz is number 21 up here, correct?
You got it. Go the other way.
Stafford on the slant. Tate to the outside. Golden Tate, touchdown!
Anquan Bolden is raising his hands triumphantly, and he should.
Why should he raise them triumphantly, partner?
Not even looking for the receiver, looking for block. This is well executed. And the strike by Stafford to Tate, perfect, so he can catch it in stride. And Harbor with the block downfield.
Got just enough of him. That's all you need to do, is just get enough. Anquan Bolden prides himself on being a complete player. There's the block there. Downfield Harbor, 84, with a block on Troy Hill. Just enough of him. And Tate gets into the end zone.
The extra point is good by Prater. We've been tied at 7. We've been tied at 14. We've been tied at 21. Now at 28. And now Golden Tate's a cheerleader too. Screening saves lives, and the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a Crucial Catch Day on October 25th and find out how you can make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. All tied up now at 28 with 6:02 to go. Sam Martin will kick off to Benny Cunningham. Cunningham. He will take a knee in the end zone. Golden Tate, 151 yards today. What does that get you? A little kiss hello, right?
This game is sponsored by Domino's. Order online and track your order.
What a game here in Detroit. What a game for Golden Tate. He has already surpassed his season numbers today. 151 yards, 1 touchdown. And we're all tied up at 28. Case Keenum, empty backfield here on first down for the 25. And Case Keenum is 26 of 28 for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Rams. And that is a batted ball at the line, and that's an incomplete pass in his first incompletion in his last 20 attempts.
Now, here's the thing moving forward with Case Keenum. We're to see under pressure. Now the thing, Case has been outstanding, right, for 3 quarters, and you'll see the pressure right here. The thing he has to avoid, he's had some games where he's made big mistakes in crucial times. This is money time for Case Keenum right here. This is, if you want to be the starter, you want to be the leader, now you earn it on the road in the Motor City.
Detroit's defensive backs have got to come up with big plays against these big body receivers of Los Angeles now. They've eaten them up in the second half.
Gurley gets the carry on 2nd and 10, and he'll get 5, setting up 3rd and 5. Tyre Whitehead with its tackle.
Yeah, because to me, if you're Detroit's defense now at 3rd and 5, the game comes down to rushing Case Keenum and covering. So you put the game on your secondary in a lot of ways, and they've struggled with the big receivers because they've run those big boy routes and have beaten them. Can they come up with some plays down the stretch when they need them now?
The big boy routes have gone to Britt and Kendricks to match up on a linebacker or a matchup on a safety.
Benny Cunningham is in the backfield here on 3rd and 5. Keenum going for Britt, and it's poked away by Darius Slay. He made the big plays last week in the 4th quarter. Comes up with a big play here.
Know what he told us? They pay me the big bucks to make big plays. And to me, this is a big boy route because Britt boxes him out like it's basketball. Tries to use his big body in front of the smaller Slay. Slay keeps position and fights through his hands and through his arms to knock it away.
Now Johnny Hekker on to punt with Andre Roberts back at his own 25. And the flag is thrown. And it's going to be a false start.
False start. Offense number 38. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Do you play punt safe here, Chris, to make sure you get the football?
Absolutely.
I know the Rams got caught on a fake punt last week, but you don't really think Jeff Fisher's daunted by that. So if I'm them, I'm playing punt safe.
I'm not playing punt safe. I'm running my return because within my return games, I still have fake responsibility. So I just remind them before we go out onto the field.
Huge alert, right?
Yeah.
Roberts comes up, makes the catch at the 35. He gets hit at the 39. A 40-yard punt. The Lions coming back with good field position, all tied up at 28. Here's what's at stake in this game with the Rams at 3-2 and the Lions at 2-3. On 1st down, Stafford completes the pass to Anquan Bolden up to the 46. LaMarcus Joyner, who's back in the game with a forearm injury, makes the tackle.
Yeah, and now I'm Lions. I don't go in my slow down mode, but I slow it down just a tad to eat clock. The other thing is, like everybody wants to do, you stay on schedule. And I love the fact that they threw the ball on 1st down on a safe pass against the zone defense.
2nd down and 3.
Hard count them also, Justin. They're anxious to rush that passer.
Hand off to Zinner. Get those legs moving. He's going to pick up a couple yards, coming up a yard shy. Mark Barron with the tackle.
No one's going to be crazy about the rushing totals for Detroit today, but I think they did accomplish a purpose in terms of staying with the run, and that's slowing down that pass rush Chris just talked about. You know, I know Robert Quinn's not there, but this is still an excellent pass rushing defensive front, and they've tamped down the pressure by being patient and staying with the run, even though the numbers haven't been super.
Always alert play action if you're the Rams defense on this particular set.
There it is. Stafford pumps, completes the pass. Anquan Bolden stumbling down, has the 1st down, picks up 11.
Well, and this is really a good call by Jim Bob Cooter because I see his eyes. You see Decker's eyes peeking outside. As a defensive player, when I see an offensive lineman's eyes looking outside, he's not looking outside to run block. He's looking outside to pass block. So what you do as a defender, you start yelling, bird, bird, bird. That means get in your pass rush stand. Ball's in the air. If I would yell rabbit, that means ball's on the ground. Ball's in the air. Bird it.
Anything that runs or anything in the sky.
That's little things that can make a difference and win football games.
Hand off to Zinner. Zinner. These fans love the effort right now by by Zach Zenner. Tackled by Troy Hill. Zenner gets 8. 2nd down and 2 coming up.
That effort really accomplishes what Chris was talking about at the start of the drive. You don't go into slow down mode. You're not playing 4 corners here like in basketball, but you do back it down a tick because you want to put points on the board really as clock is hitting zeros. You want to take it down as far as you can. Zenner's run right there allows him to take that time and continue to do so.
Zenner again on the toss. He's got the 1st down. And this should take us up the 2-minute warning.
The difference between this toss and the last toss, guess what they gave? A little lead blocker. Now it's safe to run it, Charles.
Watch Michael Burton, 46, get out in front. Right now, instead of wearing 46 as a fullback number, he should be in a 60 number like a guard. A road grader gives him a 1st down.
Sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Try the new Thick Cut Autumn Carb Turkey Sandwich from Subway.
It has been such a fun game here at Ford Field today between the Lions and the Rams. 2 minutes to go. The Lions 1st and 10 from the 26. Stafford. Pressure, and Stafford goes down, sacked for the 1st time today by Aaron Donald.
Well, Aaron Donald, watch him work. And again, you know what? If you single him, it's over. You can't block him. That's why you have to double him. And for whatever reason, the Lions slid away from Aaron Donald, and the sliding to Aaron Donald, bring the center over so the guard has help.
And you see why people work on martial arts moves for defensive linemen. He won that with hands right away. Laken Tomlinson never got a hand on him, trying to get his hands up. Donald pretty much knocked him away, slapped him out, and off he went to the quarterback.
That went all Bruce Lee on him.
Like that.
Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee.
Look at you entering the dragon like
Case Keenum, a Rams record 19 consecutive completions in the game. Golden Tate, 151 yards in the air and a touchdown.
And be careful of Matthew Stafford if you're LA, climbing a pocket and running with it if he doesn't have someone to throw.
Stafford gets rid of it quickly. To Tate, tries to make a move, but this time couldn't shake the defenders. LaMarcus Joyner was there again.
Jeff Fisher called timeout immediately.
And he did that to preserve time for his own offense because they are well within field goal range for Matt Prater.
Taking down to one timeout.
1 timeout remaining. 3rd and 13 coming up here for the Lions. So right now, what's the strategy for the Lions? You're in field goal range. Is it just take care of the ball, make sure you keep possession so you get the field goal?
Mine is run the football with Zenner, set it up for Prater, play for the field goal, and force the Rams to use their last timeout.
If they do decide they want to throw the ball and the Rams bring the expected pressure, Stafford take care of the football, climb the pocket, and go straight upfield and get what you can out of it, and make sure you get it set up for Prater to kick.
3rd and 13. They throw it to Tate. And Tate busting forward, very close to that 1st down marker.
Well, that play looked familiar, didn't it?
Sure did. And you know something? A lot of coordinators feel like they've got to call everything on their play sheet. The really good ones. And that was a timeout by LA. But I'll tell you what, the really good coordinators continue to come back to things that work well.
Yeah, and you should, because you had a touchdown on the last time. They ran that exact same play.
It's an unofficial line, remember.
I think he's short. I think he's short by a couple inches.
And the Rams did call their final timeout.
Look at him raking at the football. Good job by Zenner holding on to it as Troy Hill tried to knock it out of his hands.
That short.
And you know, Jim Caldwell's been very bold throughout the game going for it. In this case, I've got to get my points right now.
Yeah.
I've got to get my points. There's no upside to me to going for it here just to run down the clock. I go ahead and get my points and not risk it.
Well, right now Stafford is still on the field.
Well, you know what you're thinking here, Chris. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Hard count, long count, just see if you can get them to jump and then go down and kick the field goal if you don't get them to do so.
Yeah.
And maybe you use a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, a lot of those things with your offense at this point, trying to get them to move offside.
You know what he's saying? Nobody jump.
Yes.
I'm going hard count. And he says it 8 times. Nobody jump.
And here they come. Some teams will use a lot of motion and shifts to try and draw you too.
Corey Robinson is in.
Hey, give me Oklahoma.
Okay, that's what they're doing right here. You might get another guy in motion.
I got it. Come on, sit up.
I mean, that's smart.
That's what you do.
You never know.
You never know. You get a guy to jump, and some of the best have jumped in those situations. So you take the shot, but that was real good discipline by Detroit and to be able to execute it. Because how many times have we seen where guys have gone for that, and then the offense jumps itself?
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
By the way, Matt Prater will attempt a go-ahead field goal, potentially a game-winning field goal. Had one last week too.
Yeah. You know, this is, I think he's got, what, 5 in his career in Detroit, and 10, I think he had 9 in Denver, right? So here comes another one, maybe the second week in a row, at least the go-ahead.
See where the pressure's coming from. The offense's right side.
A 34-yard attempt, and that splits the uprights. Now don't forget, remember the end of the first half. The Rams did not go for the field goal, and they got stuck.
And people will talk about that, but we knew there was no chance they were going to kick a field goal there. And Jeff Fisher told our Peter Schrager at halftime, not a chance, because that's our identity. That's who we are. So he won't have any regrets on it, but they may have regrets because of those 3 plays.
Well, and the other thing that helped him make that decision, he knew that they were getting the ball to start the second half.
Right.
And he was that close. I mean, you know, you got to win close.
Yeah, you got to win.
Go for the win. And
that's your identity.
That's it. Now, they're in 2-minute offense. Case Keenum has been money all day long. Gets a chance to really heighten that stat.
And guys, this is where he gets a chance to avoid the big mistake, which he's had a couple this year. He's had a tremendous game, maybe the game of his life. Now we get to watch it and see if he can finish.
And I'm going to say his last thing for Detroit. Defensively, communication is the key to everything. They can't have any type of a bust in the secondary where people run free in this situation.
I always said that, Justin, communication. Those 2 most important places where it's key, secondary and marriage. If you don't have it, there's a breakdown.
I was going to say, one of those had to be a relationship.
and thank you, Dr. Craig.
Yes.
Cunningham will take the knee. There will be 1:29 to go for Case Keenum. No timeouts. The day for Case Keenum. It has been a heck of a day. 26 of 30, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's also run one in for a touchdown.
Now, if I'm the Rams, I'm alert because this is money time for other guys. Kerry Hyder and also Ziggy Ansah. That's why they pay him millions.
Devin Taylor.
To win this game.
But don't forget this. Remember, the Rams only down 3, and Greg Zuerlein's career long is 61 yards. So you have to guard a lot farther out than you normally would against a field goal with the Rams.
No timeouts remaining. On first down, the batted ball, it is caught by Brian Quick for 5 yards, and they got to go quickly. Over the middle, and that is picked off. Intercepted by Raphael Bush. Second straight week, the Lions have an interception late in the 4th quarter. Last week, it's Darius Slay. This week, it's Raphael Bush.
So we start out the whole series. What's Case Keenum have to do? Avoid the big mistake. He's trying to force it in there, and there's nowhere to force it. As Kendricks is going to release, working on Raphael Bush.
They high-load him, Chris. I mean, you got guy. Look, underneath and over the top. Look at it. Really, essentially became 3 guys there.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I don't understand. I don't understand if he had a bad read or if it was predetermined in his mind where he's going to with the football. That's been the Rams when they lost the games. That's where they lose them.
Last week, Justin, Tavon Wilson, number 32, made a great play at the end of the game to blow up some blockers and allow Darius Slay to come through and knock the ball free. Remember that? He just made another nice play there, another unsung play where he got enough depth in coverage, got a hand up to make Keenum throw the ball over the top, and allowed Bush to come underneath and make the interception. The two big plays that won't really show up in the scorecard.
They must have been communicating in the secondary.
There you go, Doctor.
Victory formation. Hopefully the ball may have come loose and all the whistles, the players, things getting chippy.
Well, this has been a hard-fought game that's really important for both teams. We showed that not too long ago about what it means with your record and trying to make the playoffs. And boy, this has been a tough 2 weeks for the Rams. 2 games they thought they could win.
It seems like every week these Lions play a close game. They play a close game again. For second straight week, they come away with a victory, 31-28. The Lions beat the Rams. Let's go to LA and Kurt Menefee.